115,000 people were watching, and they had no idea what was about to unfold. What started as a regular off-season Instagram Live suddenly turned into a raw, unscripted, no-holds-barred quarterback showdown. No reporters, no filters, no spin. Just two rivals, face-to-face, airing months of tension in front of the entire football world. One came in trying to play it cool. The other came in with receipts. Within minutes, reputations were shattered. Careers took a hit, and fans witnessed something the league has never seen before. This wasn't just drama for the timeline. It was the public destruction of one quarterback and the sudden rise of another. Because once Shedeur Sanders started talking, there was no turning back. It was late, off-season quiet, just another Instagram Live, or so everyone thought. Shedeur Sanders hit go live at 11:47 p.m. Eastern. Casual vibes, talking training camp, preseason routines, relaxed but focused. Nothing out of the ordinary. And then it shifted. A name popped up in the viewer list. Not a reporter, not a fan. It was Dillon Gabriel, the other quarterback in Cleveland's high-stakes position battle. And he wasn't just watching, he requested to join. The second that split screen flipped, everything changed. There was no media briefing, no scripted questions, no coaching staff to play referee. Just two quarterbacks under the lights, alone, unfiltered, and thousands watching live. What followed wasn't an interview. It was a digital duel. Tension so real, you can feel it through the screen. Sanders leaned back, barely blinking. Gabriel sat upright, clearly trying to measure every word. But whatever playbook he'd prepared, it wouldn't matter. Because this wasn't just a live stream. It was a pressure cooker that had been building for weeks, and now the steam was about to blow. Gabriel tried to ease into it. Cool voice, rehearsed tone. He wanted to calm the waters before they boiled over. "Listen, man, this whole thing got blown out of proportion," he said, almost like a politician addressing a scandal. "We're just competing. The media's creating stuff that's not there." He spoke like someone hoping damage could be undone. But Sanders, he didn't blink. No smile, no anger, just that quiet, composed intensity. Then came the line that cracked the surface. "Brother, let's keep it authentic since we're here. You want to talk about narratives, or do you want the actual situations?" And just like that, the vibe shifted. Comments flew. The viewer count spiked. Emojis flooded the screen. Everyone watching realized this wasn't recovery. This was a takedown in progress. Shedeur never raised his voice. He didn't need to. His calm was louder than any outburst. Gabriel hadn't stepped into a chat. He'd walked into a low-key courtroom, and Shedeur came with evidence. And what was coming next? It would flip the entire quarterback competition on its head. Sanders didn't waste time. No hypotheticals, no vague shade, just raw facts, each one sharper than the last. Training camp, day 3. "You told the O-line I was getting special treatment? Thought nobody would mention that?" Gabriel's face changed instantly, frozen, trying to process if this was actually happening live. Day 7, equipment room. "You asked if I earned any of this, or just inherited everything." Sound familiar? There it was. Not rumors, not assumptions. These were moments, dropped with precision, in front of tens of thousands watching in real time. Gabriel opened his mouth, but nothing came out fast enough. Sanders wasn't angry. He didn't need to be. He knew exactly what he was doing, and exactly where it hurt most. No yelling, no editing, just truth. "You brought tension into the locker room, and I didn't say a word, until now." And that silence, it was louder than anything Gabriel could say. The chat turned unstoppable. Emoji storms, jaw-drop reactions, fans losing their minds every second. Up until this point, it looked like a disagreement, but with every receipt, it started to feel like something else. A slow-motion collapse, and Sanders was just getting started. Gabriel, now clearly rattled, switched tactics. He brought up team dynamics, fairness, and development timelines. Classic deflections built on vague soundbites. You were a fifth-round pick. I've been in the system longer. This was supposed to be about development, not politics. A decent pivot, if Sanders hadn't seen it coming. He leaned in, smiled slightly, and delivered a line that punctured every excuse. Brother, you transferred twice, chasing starting spots. Now you're suddenly worried about timelines? That's fascinating. Everyone watching felt it, that sting of truth wrapped in calm disrespect. And just when Gabriel thought it couldn't get worse, it did. He claimed veterans in the locker room were behind him, that Sanders hadn't earned respect. Bad move. You really want to go there? Cool. Tuesday's meeting, when coaches asked about rollout protection, who froze up? When Miles asked about hot reads, who said nothing? You were still learning the offense. I had that locked week 1. The calm was gone. Sanders was surgical now. Gabriel's body language said everything. Shoulders tighter, eyes off camera. Suddenly, it wasn't a competition. It was an unraveling, live, and unedited. This wasn't about football anymore. It was about exposure. The wall finally cracked. Gabriel's cool faded. His fallback arguments were gone, and the truth started spilling out. Not just from Sanders, but from Gabriel himself. You don't get it, he snapped. You've got a famous dad, media hype, owners backing you. I've had to grind for every opportunity. That was it, the resentment breaking through. Not just about playing time, but identity. Legacy versus grind. Spotlight versus shadows. But Sanders didn't flinch. Instead, his voice dropped lower, sharper, deadly with precision. You think having Deion Sanders as a dad makes this easier? Every mistake I make becomes a headline. Every success gets questioned. But pressure? I use that. You let it break you. That's why I'm starting. And you're suspended. Boom! That word, suspended, hit like a knockout. It wasn't just a jab, it was a verdict. For everyone watching, it confirmed what they'd suspected. Gabriel wasn't just losing the battle, he'd already lost the war. And as the viewer count crossed 100,000, it became clear. This wasn't just drama. It was a quarterback meltdown in 4K. And Shedeur Sanders was narrating the collapse live, one brutal sentence at a time. Desperate to regain footing, Gabriel played his last card, the incident. He claimed the media had overblown a training camp confrontation that allegedly turned physical. That story? It wasn't even serious. The media twisted it like they always do. Wrong move. Sanders didn't argue. He didn't raise his voice. He just leaned into the camera and said it. Because I've got video, not team footage, someone's phone, a teammate's. You want to see what really happened? And just like that, Gabriel froze. His face said everything. The screen didn't need split angles or dramatic music. The pause said it all. He knew the footage existed. His narrative? Dead on arrival. Sanders didn't even show the video. He didn't have to. I'll save that for when you try rewriting history again, he said, calm as ever. Everybody watching knows the truth now. You lost your cool because you're losing the competition. No shouting, no theatrics, just dominance served cold. And as the chat turned to chaos and viewership spiked, one thing became clear. This wasn't a quarterback duel anymore. It was a live execution, and Gabriel handed Sanders the weapon. By now, it wasn't just a viral moment. It had evolved into something bigger. This wasn't two athletes beefing. It was a mirror reflecting a shift happening across all of professional sports. Gabriel stood for the old model: patient growth, locker room politics, wait your turn humility. Sanders? He represented the new playbook: immediate impact, digital dominance, no need to wait for permission. And that divide was now playing out in front of more than 100,000 people, live. The chat was a war zone. Former players, coaches, analysts, even blue-check celebrities piling into the comments. Some backed Gabriel's earned it the hard way mentality. Others praised Sanders for exposing the tired system that props up veterans but silences new talent. "This ain't just about football," one comment read. "This is about how the whole league runs." And it was true. This moment had outgrown the field. When Sanders dismantled Gabriel's talking points, flexed receipts, and refused to flinch under pressure, it wasn't just personal victory. It was a generational statement. The game isn't just played on Sundays anymore. It's played online, on your terms, in real time. And everyone, from the locker room to the league office, was taking notes. Gabriel, emotionally spent and visibly shaken, had one last attempt left. He tried to reframe it all, pitch himself as misunderstood. "You don't understand the pressure I'm under," he said. "You came in with the spotlight. I had to earn mine the hard way." But Sanders didn't need volume to own a room, just clarity. And that's exactly what he dropped next. Pressure? Having a legendary dad means every move gets dissected. Every success people claim was handed to me. But I never complained, because champions don't cry about pressure. We train in it. Then came the knockout. "That's why I'm starting, and you're suspended." The tension snapped. Gabriel's composure cracked completely. He lashed out, blaming coaches, politics, favoritism. But it was already too late. The stream ended just minutes later after one final mic drop moment from Sanders. "I didn't ask for this drama, but when challenged, I don't duck." That's what real quarterbacks do. 115,000 people watched history. Not just a QB debate, but a career collapse. Gabriel's PR team scrambled, yet nothing stuck. No statement could undo those 37 minutes. And Sanders? He posted just 3 words. "Film study tomorrow." Loud, clear, unbothered. By the next morning, the NFL had changed. And not because of a trade, a contract extension, or a SportsCenter headline. It changed because one quarterback weaponized social media to win a roster battle. Every sports outlet scrambled. Clips from the live stream flooded TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube. Analysts broke down body language like it was game film. Communication experts weighed in. Leadership gurus used Sanders as a case study. It wasn't just viral, it was legendary. And Gabriel? His follow-up statement citing technical issues and misunderstood intentions fooled no one. Every word he said, every deflection, contradiction, emotional stumble was screen recorded, burned into the internet. Permanent. Sanders never needed to scream. He never needed to prove himself emotionally. He arrived prepared, strategic, brutally composed. And that composure didn't just win the fans. It won the locker room, the coaching staff, and control of the team. Teams are now reviewing social media policies. Front offices are rethinking talent evaluation beyond just film.